Did you imagine holding a small piece of metal in your hand that most people would casually toss into a jar, slip into their pocket, or even ignore if it fell to the ground? Yet this very same coin could secretly be worth millions, changing your life overnight. And today we are diving deep into one such fascinating story that has captured the imagination of collectors, historians, and everyday people alike. The story of the 2012 PUSA 5-cent coin, a Jefferson nickel that many would simply overlook in daily transactions, but which, under certain rare and extraordinary circumstances, has been valued at an astonishing $31 million, making it one of the most intriguing and talked about modern coins in the world of numismatics. And to understand how such a coin can be elevated from pocket change to an object of legendary worth, we must explore the minting process, the potential errors and mistakes, the condition of the coin, its rarity, and the fervor of the collector's market that drives these values higher and higher, because the story of this coin is not just about metal but about history, luck, passion, and the endless pursuit of hidden treasure, starting with the fact that the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the SP Mint mark, struck hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels in 2012, meaning that the majority of these coins are worth exactly their face value of 5 cents and circulate freely across the nation. But in the midst of this vast production line, there exists the possibility of unique variations, unintentional errors, or unusual conditions that make certain coins stand out dramatically, and those are the coins that transform into legends, with the 2012 P5-cent nickel being one such example, as collectors discovered strange and rare anomalies in some specimens, including double dies where details on Jefferson's portrait or the inscriptions appear to be duplicated slightly, giving the coin a surreal, layered look, or off-center strikes where the design is misaligned, leaving blank areas of the coin visible and instantly drawing attention, or even dramatic die cracks that appear like lightning bolts across the surface, each of these mistakes adding character and uniqueness that collectors crave. And while most minting mistakes might make a coin worth a few hundred or a few $1,000s, the truly spectacular examples, preserved in pristine condition with extraordinary rarity, can ignite a bidding frenzy among collectors. And that is how stories of millions of dollars in value begin, because numismatics is not just about the coin itself but about the story it carries, the mythology of its rarity, and the emotions it stirs in those who pursue it. So when a 2012 P nickel with exceptional errors or a virtually flawless surface graded by top certification services like PCGS or NGC crosses the auction block, its value can leap far beyond imagination, and in one legendary case, this coin's face value was inflated to the jaw-dropping figure of $31 million, a number that might sound unbelievable to the casual observer but is rooted in the extreme and competitive nature of the high-end coin market, where rarity, demand, provenance, and sheer desire converge. And it is not just about one coin but about the culture of collecting, the hunt for the impossible, the thrill of discovery when someone realizes that the spare change in their wallet could contain a multi-million-dollar treasure. And so the 2012 P nickel story is one of modern legends, with theories circulating among collectors that only a handful of these extraordinary era coins exist, some possibly tucked away in forgotten drawers, others still out in circulation waiting to be found, and this possibility keeps the allure alive, inspiring treasure hunters, coin roll searchers, and everyday dreamers to check their change carefully, because history has shown time and time again that miracles in numismatics do happen, and that's why this particular coin continues to spark excitement across the globe, leading to viral discussions, trending searches, and headlines about unbelievable finds. And when you think about it, the appeal of such a story isn't just monetary but psychological, because who wouldn't be fascinated by the idea that something ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary? That a coin most people dismiss as nearly worthless could secretly be a life-changing artifact, and this is what makes the 2012 P5-cent coin a perfect example of how numismatics blends mystery, history, art, and value into one small but mighty package. So whether you are a seasoned collector who spends hours researching varieties and grading scales, or a casual person who just stumbled upon this story, you can feel the thrill of possibility, and it is this universal appeal that has made the story of the 2012 P nickel go viral, turning it into one of the top trending conversations in the coin world. And as we unravel this narrative, remember that beyond the millions of coins produced every year lies a hidden world where the rarest of the rare can command jaw-dropping prices, and the 2012 P nickel with its extraordinary valuation of $31 million is a shining example of that phenomenon. So keep your eyes open, always check your change, and remember that the next great discovery could be in your hand at this very moment. And if you love learning about incredible stories like this, make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the channel and join us for more unbelievable journeys into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Next, the 1994 P. Jefferson 5-cent piece, a coin that at first glance seems like any other nickel minted in Philadelphia that year, but over the years stories, discoveries, and confirmed reports of major minting errors and striking mistakes have propelled this particular issue into the spotlight of the numismatic community, with some specimens rumored to be worth as much as $17 million. And while that figure may sound unbelievable, we are going to dive deep into the reasons why certain examples of the 1994 P nickel are so valuable, what kinds of errors have been documented, how the mistakes could have happened at the United States Mint, and how collectors, auction houses, and passionate enthusiasts have all helped to elevate the mystique of this coin. So welcome and get ready to be immersed in the details, because the story of the 1994 P 5-cent coin is not just about metal, numbers, or rarity. It is about the convergence of history, chance, and human fascination with imperfection. And when you look closely at the production of nickels in 1994 at the Philadelphia Mint, you realize that millions upon millions were struck and released into circulation. Yet within that mass production, a few rare mistakes slipped through, and it is those mistakes that transform a coin from pocket change into a legendary fortune. And one of the most dramatic errors associated with the 1994 P nickel is the off-center strike, where the coin blank or planchette failed to align properly with the dies during the strike, producing a coin where Jefferson's face is shifted to one side, sometimes so far off-center that part of the coin shows empty space where no design appears. And the most valuable of these are the ones that remain significantly off-center yet still show the full date, 1994, and the mint mark P, because collectors want to see that the coin is verifiably from that year and mint. And such examples have commanded astonishing prices at auction. Then there are double die errors, which occur when the coin die itself receives multiple misaligned impressions during preparation, leading to coins that display doubled letters, numbers, or images. And for the 1994 P nickel, some dramatic examples have been found where "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear doubled, with a shadow-like second image behind the main one. And even more incredible are the ones where the digits of the date itself are doubled, creating a surreal effect that instantly draws the eye and skyrockets the value, because doubling of the date is one of the most sought-after features in error coin collecting. And then we have the rare but spectacular wrong planchette errors, where the Jefferson nickel design was mistakenly struck on a planchette meant for another denomination, like a dime or cent, and these coins come out undersized or lightweight, often missing parts of the design because the smaller planchette could not contain the full impression. And when authenticated, these wrong planchette nickels are among the most valuable errors in existence, and collectors would pay extraordinary sums to secure a 1994 P example. Then there are missing clad layer errors, which are fascinating to behold because the outer nickel coating is absent in part or entirely, exposing the copper core underneath, giving the coin a strange two-tone or coppery appearance that looks nothing like a standard nickel. And when combined with the correct mint mark and date, these coins gain instant fame, because they are not only visually striking but also scientifically rare. And next we come to die cracks and cuds, which are formed when the dies themselves begin to wear, fracture, or break, causing raised lines of extra metal or even large blobs of metal where the design should be. And in 1994 P nickels there have been reports of long dramatic die cracks running across Jefferson's profile or through Monticello on the reverse, creating a one-of-a-kind pattern that collectors love because each crack is unique to that particular die. And then there are clipped planchette errors, where the blank metal disc was cut improperly and ended up with a curved piece missing, producing a coin that looks like it has a bite taken out of it. And finding one from 1994 P with strong details and minimal wear adds enormous value. And while all of these errors individually can drive prices into the thousands or tens of thousands, the most extraordinary specimens are those that combine multiple errors in one coin, such as an off-center strike on a wrong planchette with doubling on the lettering. And these double or triple error coins are so rare that they become legendary. And when one such coin is discovered, it often ignites bidding wars that push the value into millions. And this is where the $17 million figure comes into play, because theoretically, if a one-of-a-kind 1994 P Jefferson nickel exists that combines a dramatic error, such as a wrong planchette with major doubling and off center strike, and if it emerges at a major auction where wealthy collectors compete, the price could soar into the tens of millions. And history has shown us that when collectors desire something truly unique, there is no limit to what they will pay. And part of what makes the 1994 P nickel so mysterious is that many of these rare error examples are not well documented, meaning they could still be sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, and collections across America waiting to be discovered, and this possibility fuels the imagination of coin hunters everywhere who check every nickel carefully, looking for signs of doubling, cracks, off-centering, or unusual coloration, and the excitement lies in the idea that you or I could stumble across one of these priceless coins at any time. And beyond the physical errors themselves, the 1994p nickel also gains value from its place in history, because the early 1990s were a time when the US Mint was modernizing equipment but still experienced significant flaws, and transitional errors between old and new processes often slipped through the cracks, literally and figuratively, leaving behind anomalies that collectors treasure. And when combined with the growing popularity of Jefferson nickel collecting in the late 20th century, it created the perfect storm for this coin to become legendary. And another factor to consider is the psychological element of rarity, because when word spreads that a coin like the 1994p nickel has been valued at such astronomical figures, demand increases even more as collectors rush to secure one for themselves, even if only minor errors are present, and this creates a cascading effect where even small anomalies are magnified in value simply because they are connected to the legend of the $17 million nickel. And the fascinating thing about numismatics is that value is not purely based on metal content or face value. It is based on rarity, demand, history, and uniqueness, and the 1994p nickel represents all of these factors in one, making it a true treasure of modern American coinage. And as we explore deeper, we must also consider the role of major auction houses and private sales where record-breaking prices are achieved in secret bidding wars. And it is entirely possible that one extraordinary example of a 1994p nickel has already changed hands for millions behind closed doors, adding to the mystery and allure of this coin. And stories like these are what keep collectors searching, because every error coin is a story frozen in metal, a mistake that should never have existed yet slipped into circulation against all odds. And when you hold such a coin in your hand, you are holding a piece of history that defied the system, a rare survivor that carries with it the weight of chance, imperfection, and incredible value. And this is why the legend of the 1994p 5-cent piece worth $17 million continues to grow, inspiring treasure hunters, collectors, and dreamers to keep searching, because the next one could be out there right now waiting to be discovered. And if you are someone who loves the thrill of the hunt, then this story should inspire you to check every coin you encounter, because you never know when an ordinary-looking nickel could turn out to be the key to life-changing wealth. And that is the beauty of coin collecting. It transforms the mundane into the extraordinary. It rewards patience, knowledge, and a little bit of luck, and it keeps alive the timeless human fascination with treasure, rarity, and history. And so the 1994p nickel is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of how mistakes can turn into miracles, how flaws can create fortune, and how the smallest objects can hold the greatest stories. And as you reflect on this journey, remember that every coin has a story, every error is a chance for discovery, and the next legendary treasure might already be in your hands. So keep looking, keep learning, and keep dreaming, because the world of coins is full of surprises, and the story of the 1994p 5-cent worth $17 million is proof that anything is possible. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible world of rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more amazing stories that remind us that history, fortune, and mystery can all be found in the change rattling at the bottom of your pocket. Last, the 2015p 5-cent coin, a Jefferson nickel that on the surface might look ordinary and spendable at just 5 cents, but has become legendary in the coin collecting world due to the presence of unusual and dramatic minting errors and mistakes that have elevated some of these coins to the realm of millions of dollars, with one particular example rumored to have fetched an astronomical value of $8 million because of its rarity, error details, and the wild possibilities it represents. And this journey through its story is going to show you just how something so ordinary can be transformed into an extraordinary treasure. So sit back and let us unravel everything about why this small piece of metal could be worth big money, the kinds of mistakes that occurred during its production, the fascinating history behind its design, and the possibilities that make it so highly desirable among collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike. Because when we talk about the 2015p nickel, we are diving into a coin that symbolizes not just American history but also the unpredictability of minting technology and how imperfections can sometimes create perfection in the eyes of collectors. And to understand why this coin is valued at such astronomical figures, we must first step into the world of minting errors, those oddities and mistakes that occur when the massive presses of the Philadelphia Mint strike millions upon millions of coins at incredible speeds. Because despite the United States Mint's reputation for high quality and precision, it is inevitable that mistakes happen, and in the case of the 2015 P5-cent coin, those mistakes were not just ordinary blemishes but unique, standout anomalies that turned an ordinary nickel into a multimillion-dollar masterpiece, and these errors range from double-die obverse strikes where the portrait of Thomas Jefferson appears slightly doubled in key areas such as the eye, lips, or hairline, giving the coin a ghostly doubled look that collectors crave, to off-center strikes where Jefferson's face or the Monticello building on the reverse is partially missing because the blank planchet was not properly aligned in the press, making for a strikingly unusual piece that is instantly recognizable. And then there are broad strike errors where the coin is pressed without the collar that normally keeps its shape, resulting in a stretched or expanded coin that looks alien compared to a normal nickel. And these mistakes, while accidents, instantly transform a coin from pocket change into a collectible oddity. But the 2015 P goes further, with reports of dramatic die clashes where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving faint outlines of Monticello on Jefferson's portrait or traces of Jefferson's profile bleeding through the architecture of the reverse. And for those who know the art of numismatics, these die clashes are visual treasures because they make the coin unique and unrepeatable. And let us not forget the possibility of missing elements such as coins that somehow escaped the minting process without a mint mark, or with weakly struck designs where the pressure was too low, leaving ghostly faint lettering, and some examples even show partial missing layers of the clad composition, revealing unusual colors or textures that make them stand out in any collection. And when you bring together these categories of minting errors with the 2015 Philadelphia nickel, you get a combination that captures the imagination of collectors who are always searching for the rarest of the rare, the coin that stands apart from the millions of ordinary ones. And because of this, the rumor of one 2015 P5-cent coin selling for $8 million is not so far-fetched as it might sound to the average person, for in the world of rare coins, when supply is nearly non-existent and demand is through the roof, prices can climb to astronomical heights, just as we have seen with other coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1943 copper penny, and the 2015 P has joined those ranks in discussions of modern rarities, a coin so young yet already surrounded by mystery and allure. And if we explore deeper into why the 2015 P is so valuable, we need to consider not only the specific errors but also the context of its year of minting. Because 2015 was a year when the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of nickels, yet only a handful are known to carry these dramatic mistakes, making the ratio of ordinary to extraordinary coins incredibly skewed. And rarity in numismatics is always the key driver of value, so when you have a year where countless flawless coins are struck but just a few rare anomalies escape the quality checks, those anomalies become instant treasures, and the 2015 P nickel is a perfect example of how this dynamic works. But beyond the obvious minting errors, there is another layer to its story, the possibilities tied to collectors' psychology, because when a collector hears that a coin exists with a certain type of error, their desire to own it grows, and when that desire is multiplied across thousands of collectors worldwide, bidding wars erupt at auctions, pushing values higher and higher. And this is how a small coin becomes a giant in terms of market value, because the excitement and competition surrounding it fuel its worth. And to give you an even richer sense of why the 2015 P5-cent has captured so much attention, we can explore specific reported varieties like double die reverses where Monticello steps show doubling, or where the inscriptions like E pluribus unum and 5 cents show split serifs and distinct doubling under magnification. And these subtle details require sharp eyes, but once discovered they transform the coin into something far beyond ordinary. And then there are dramatic misaligned die errors where one side of the coin is properly centered but the other side is shifted, creating an off-kilter appearance that immediately grabs attention. And there are even stories of 2015 P nickels struck on the wrong planchet, perhaps a dime or foreign coin blank that slipped into the press, creating a smaller, lighter coin with nickel design squeezed awkwardly onto its surface. And these wrong planchet errors are among the most valuable types in numismatics because they combine rarity with sheer visual appeal. And when you consider that one of these could exist in the 2015 P series, the idea of an $8 million valuation begins to feel entirely possible, especially when you factor in the competition between high-end collectors who see these coins as not just pieces of history but as investments, as trophies that prove their dominance in the collecting world. And when a bidding war begins between such passionate collectors, the price can soar to heights that boggle the imagination. And so the 2015 P nickel, with all its errors, mistakes, and possibilities, becomes not just a coin but a symbol of how imperfection can create perfection, how a small slip in the minting process can give birth to a legend, and this is why it is worth studying every aspect of this coin, from its design featuring Jefferson's enduring portrait to the classic Monticello reverse, to the Philadelphia P mint mark that anchors its identity. Because within this seemingly ordinary package lies the potential for extraordinary value, and this story also serves as a reminder to all of us that treasures still circulate in our pockets, that the next time you receive change at a store you could be holding a multi-million-dollar rarity without even realizing it, and that is the true magic of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt, the possibility that at any moment an overlooked 5-cent coin could reveal itself to be worth millions, and that is exactly why the 2015 P nickel, rumored at $8 million, continues to captivate, inspire, and astonish. And as we wrap up this journey, remember that coin collecting is not just about money, it is about history, art, and the stories that connect us to our past, and the 2015 P nickel is one of those stories, a tale of errors and mistakes transformed into opportunities and value. And if you enjoyed exploring this fascinating world with us today, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories about rare coins, and join us again as we continue uncovering the treasures hidden in plain sight.